Hello everyone, welcome back again. We'll be talking about if statements in this tutorial. The if statement is just a way to have your computer program make a very simple decision. Previously in programming, you would build programs and they would write line after line of code. However, there are times when you want your program to make a simple choice. There may be occasions where you only want to run a code sometimes. For example, if you were making a website and you had a message saying, "Good morning, Samita," you would only want this message to show when I logged in, rather than when somebody else was logging in. So you would say, if the user is Samita, say, "Good morning, Samita." So, previously, we would just build and run a program from top to bottom. Now it's slightly more complex. There are different routes and choices that the computer program can make. It is the if statement that enables the computer to make these basic decisions. The syntax for the if statement is very simple. Type the keyword if, then in between the parentheses you'll give it a test. Then add curly brackets. If the test is true, it will run the code. If it's false, it will not run the code. So you can say the test is, who is the user? And the code can be, "Good morning, Samita," on screen. This is just a basic example, but it isn't a real code. So we'll now make a real program which works. You can begin with a variable. So we can type int x and set it equal to 10. So you have a variable equal to 10. Programmers may want to test this to see if this variable is equal to 10. We would use something called comparison operators to make these simple tests, and there are 6 different ways to test and compare numbers. You can test, is x equal to 10? Is x not equal to 10? Is x greater than 10? Less than 10? Less than or equal to 10? And greater than or equal to 10. So let's test it with another number. We know x is equal to 10. Now, if we want to test if it is the same as 10, we type equal 10. The reason we don't use a single equal sign is because it is already being used for setting a value equal to a value. So if you try to use a single equal sign here, the program would think you were trying to set x equal to 10 and it would not run properly and you would get an error come up. So whenever you are comparing a variable and a value, you need the double equal sign. This means test if x is equal to 10. So we can try it. Let's type cout I love the beach. Then let's build and run it and see if the program works. Yes, it does. I love the beach is on the screen. Why did it work? Well, we had a variable x which was equal to 10. We told it that if x is equal to 10, then print this on the screen. It was, so it printed it. However, if you had a different number, say if x is equal to 99, then try to build and run it, it wouldn't work because 10 is not equal to 99. Now if you want to test if they are not equal, what do you do? The sign to test if they are not equal is exclamation point equal sign. So if x is not equal to 99, it will print it out because 10 is not equal to 99. Therefore, I love the beach will print out on the screen. Now let's talk about the less than and greater than. First of all, let me tell you, when a test is true, we say true. When it's wrong, we say false. So, is x less than 99? It is because 10 is less than 99. So the test is true. Therefore, it will print out I love the beach on screen. Then we can put, is 10 greater than 99? No, it isn't. So the test is false and nothing will be printed on screen. So I'll just also go over the less than or equal to. If you had is 10 less than 10 and used the basic less than test, then tried to run it, it wouldn't work because 10 isn't less than 10. Now, if you wanted to test whether 10 was less than or equal to another variable, like 10, then it would print out I love the beach, because 10 is equal to 10. The greater than or equal to test also follows the same principle. You can also test two variables. For example, we can say, is 10 greater than or equal to 43? And when we build and run it, we can see it's false. 10 isn't equal to or greater than 43. So we can test a value with a variable or two variables. You can test a value with a value, however, it's generally not done. So basically, that was how you can use the if statement to make a basic decision in computer programming. So remember, when your test is positive, it's true, and when it is negative, it's false. Whenever your test is a positive, we call that a true test. Whenever your test is negative, then it's a false. The code inside the if block will only run when your test is true. Remember, two equal signs is for equals. Exclamation point equals means not equal to. And the greater than, less than, and greater than, equal to, and less than or equal to are pretty self-explanatory. So now you should be pretty clear with the if statement. So until next time, thank you very much and take care.